Bill, and thank you for joining me today in this week's Safety Shop Walk video. I've been out, unavailable to film with Victor. However, Victor has done a great job to send some really important messaging and some information for you to retain. Hopefully, his messaging has been helpful and you're implementing the important topics that he's discussed. He did touch on a topic last week about employees working in crowded spaces. I want to reiterate that message in this week's Safety Shop Walk video because it is very important. Oftentimes, a shop can get cluttered because we have so much product that is getting prepared to ship. And sometimes those shipments get delayed, so it causes for our assemblies to back up and our workspace to get limited. However, we have approximately 80,000 square feet of shop warehouse floor. And so our expectation, and it is part of your training, is that you take time to make the work area open and safe for you to work in. So it's your responsibility to make sure that you have the space that you need. Now, if you need to consult with your production manager or supervisor to help you obtain that space, that's great too. I'm sure they'll be willing to help you. I want to talk a little bit about a situation that I encountered yesterday morning as I was conducting a workflow audit. And so what we have here is a work table where an employee was building a silencer. And that silencer required cutting, grinding, welding, much like many of our fabrication assemblies require. And he was working fine here on this table. However, another employee who was instructed to do some work underneath that platform, which is sitting on a shipping frame. I'm going to walk over there and get a little bit closer. So to be fair to the situation, this pallet with these handrails was not here. However, there was another pallet with some leftover insulation material blocking the entranceway or making it a little bit tighter. But more importantly is that the employee was instructed to work underneath this platform, which is welded to a shipping frame. We could hope that the welds are in good integrity and he's not in harm's way. However, he was subjected to working in this tight space, and he was assigned to do some paint touch-ups where the quality inspector had identified, and also the plan was to grind out some poor quality welds and to re-weld here. So you could see that the employee is faced in a area in which his vision is blocked. He's cramped in between a workstation where another employee was performing hot work, and when I came up to the scene, the employee was just about to break out the grinder and likely start shooting sparks in the back of the other employee. And with this tight space, you really can't put any weld screen or anything to protect because underneath, you can't see it, but at my feet is steel frames, which, they even had to cram this ladder in here. So my message to the employee who was beginning to work in this tight space was that it's his responsibility to not work in a cramped area and to communicate to his manager that I would love to get this work done for you, Mr. Manager. However, I don't see that this is a safe workspace for me. Can we address something or move some things so that I can work safely? Now that puts the responsibility onto you, the employee. However, good communication, positive attitude needs to be included in your approach to working safely throughout the day. So I'm sure you're going to find yourself in a cramped space. or with some congestion around, be mindful of this whenever you're about to work. I know that your intentions are good and you want to get work done for us and for yourself, but ensure that you take time to evaluate the area that you're going to work, make the space that you need so that you can work safely, effectively, and produce quality work. I hope this message has been helpful. Please implement these things in your daily thought process before you start a task. Thanks for joining us. Have a great, safe week. We'll see you next week in our Safety Shop video, where hopefully Victor and I can bond together and send you great messaging. Take care. Bye.